is the pros, the people watching and ready to go. We are not famous, I look like a dog. We about to put on a show. 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 If you ain't paying, you gotta go. We are not playing. This is the pros. The people watching and ready to go. We are not famous, I look like a dog. So many speed bags getting ran down. Whoa, watch that uppercut. You don't even gotta switch seats, cause we gon' post this on Insta. Hashtag.
All right, holy crap, man! Welcome back. Y'all had to end the. I do apologize if you guys jumped in, but I had to end the stream real quick because I had some weird stuff going on. Somebody clogging up my damn messages with some Chinese spyware bullshit, and we're not doing that here. So unfortunately, I had to switch over to subscribers only for messages. Apparently, you can't. I should have known better. But I was hoping to leave the messages open for anyone and everybody who just wants to comment. But unfortunately, unsubscribers can't be trusted. So if you want to comment, if you want to say anything to me, you're going to have to subscribe, unfortunately, because leaving it wide open for everybody results in some weird China type data dump BS. So unfortunately, your boy had to do some diagnostics, make sure I didn't get hacked, but thank God I have a good system going on here, so everything is up in the uppity up and copacetic. Anyways, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Angry Rican Show. Got a lot to go over today. Very, very busy week. As we know, it's officially been 5 days since our wonderful brand new president, and so yes, I wanna talk about that today. I wasn't hoping to be doing a whole lot of politics, but unfortunately, it's been one hell of a week. It's been one hell of a week. I'm excited about it. I'm happy for it, and I'm hoping that it just keeps getting better. Keeps getting better because things are getting done. And I just want to let the liberal knows. Well, the liberal knows. Yeah, let me speak proper English here. I want to let the liberals know that everything that's happening right now is your fault. 100% your fault. I'll explain. You see, back in 2020, the powers that be decided that they didn't want a Donald Trump back in office. They didn't want a Make America Great Again. They didn't want America First type president. No, they wanted their puppets. They wanted a guy that they can control, a globalist, and unfortunately, can't control Trump. Trump is a billionaire. He doesn't need your money. And, I'm not going to, tell you why I like Trump or because there's just so much about it that I'll be here all day. But what I do want to say is everything that's happening to you liberals is your fault. You see, you should have let him. You should have let him win in 2020. Now, thank God, this is no longer a how would I say this? This is no longer a taboo topic. But a lot of shenanigans happened in 2020. And to this day, anytime they ask Trump about 2020, they want him to admit that it was an honest and fair election, that Joe Biden won fair and square. Unfortunately, that was not the case, in my humble opinion. You see, the people that were glued to the TV, that were glued to the news, that we were on it, we saw a whole bunch of shenanigans, a whole bunch of questionable things that could have easily changed the course of history. Not to mention the Hunter Biden laptop that they so graciously, well, yeah, gracious is probably not the right word, but they can't quite find the word for it, but basically the your liberal outlets, social media companies, everyone decided that it was a taboo subject. It didn't happen. Hunter Biden laptop did not happen. The contents of that laptop did not happen. Even though if you look at my earliest videos about 4 years ago, when I decided that I wanted to do YouTube, one of my first videos was about the Hunter Biden laptop. That was way back then. Fast forward to today, we all know that it was true. But yet, the liberals keep arguing about misinformation and disinformation when they're the ones clearly engaging in such activities. So, I think in 2020, had you not done your shenanigans, and also, the coup happened, and all those mail-in ballots, and everybody got a mail-in ballot. So who knows if there was illegals voting or not voting because everybody got a ballot. Well, you got your boy. And it's crazy. It is extremely it's crazy that they were able to censor all the stuff and all the shenanigans that happened, and illegals are probably voting, and now you got Trump. Well, I'm sorry, and you had Biden. So you managed to somehow get rid of Trump and install Biden, and we weren't for it. Then you decided you wanted to put people in jail because they protested it, because everybody felt like there was some shenanigans going on. And then you took those protesters and you decided that you want to put them in jail for a ridiculous amount of time for entering the Capitol. And that's all we hear about, January 6th, which really upsets me a little bit because, as a Hispanic person, as a Puerto Rican, January 6th is supposed to be Three Kings Day for us. But now every time we hear January 6th, it has to do about a stupid riot. The way that, honestly, in my opinion, wasn't even that bad compared to the BLM riots. You had one day that people were protesting that got a little rowdy, but then you have weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of BLM protesting, burning stuff down, and that's all we talk about now. And then Trump pardons them, and you guys complain like you want to let them sit there forever. They've been locked up for 4 years. How much more do you want? You guys act like they murdered a whole bunch of police officers and did all this crazy stuff, but that's not the case. And I would love for when the media talks about it, I would love for them to actually show the videos. So when they say, oh, they were violent, they were doing this, okay, show the video. Show the video. I want to see it. Every time they say, oh, they beat up the cops, right? They beat up the cops. Okay. Show the video. Talk a whole lot of smack. Bad things that happen. Oh, the protesters beat up the cops. They did this, and they all deserve to be in prison for the rest of their lives. Okay, but you never show the footage. If it really was as bad as you say it is, then why not show the footage, right? That's what you would think. But anyways. So we had Joe Biden for 4 years. Trump told you everything that was going to happen. The economy was going to be bad. Wars were going to get started. Things, gas was going to go up. Prices were going to go up. Cost of living was going to go up. Border was going to be wide open. He told you all this. And then he campaigned. And during the campaign, he told you everything that he was going to do. And in the last 4 years, You guys have done everything and anything to keep Trump out of office. And guess what? He won. Now he's back. He's been back for 5 days exactly. Well, 4.5 days, right? Because he took office on January 20th at noon. So he hasn't been there a full 5 days. Well, actually, maybe by now it'll be 5 days, but 5 days. Let's just say 5 days. He's been president for 5 days. And in 5 days, that man has done more than Joe Biden did in 4 years. Crazy, isn't it? And now the liberal media, the usual suspects, they're all up in arms, screaming racism. Everything is racist. Everything is racist. Everything is bad. Everything he does is bad. Doesn't matter what he does, even though it's benefiting the citizens of this country. But everything he does is bad. It's crazy. You know, and what's interesting, it's only been 5 days. And the media outrage it's ridiculous. So you still have 4 years to go. You got 4 years to go. Y'all got to pace yourselves. You can't be outraged at everything that the man does. He told you he was going to close the border. And you guys made it seem like it was an impossibility. Joe Biden secured the border real quick. They go ahead and send Camel Toe Harris there to be the border czar, to go check on the root cause of immigration. And what happened? Nothing. The border got even more open. More and more people just kept pouring in. Then you made it easy, right? You had an app. People can just go in, log into the app, get a court date, and they can just show up and come on right in. All that stuff was done illegally, mind you. And Trump told you, I'm going to come into office, I'm going to shut that shit down. I'm going to close down the border, and I'm going to send everybody home. He told you while he was campaigning, it's going to be the biggest deportation in United States history. And then people argue, oh, well, it's going to take weeks. It's going to take months. So you're just going to take people and put them in camps for weeks and months at a time? Well, it appears that you can deport them right away. Who would have thought? Interesting how that works. The last administration let everyone in, first of all. They didn't really deport anybody that I'm aware of. But then they make it seem like it was an impossibility, like it couldn't be done. Like even if you wanted to deport all these people, how were you going to do it? Are you just going to keep them in camps forever? No, apparently. You can deport them right away. Just yesterday alone, there was some military cargo ships full of illegal immigrants going to Guatemala. It's all been televised. Ain't that something? Who would have thought that in 5 days you can secure the border and start getting rid of all the illegal immigrants? Amazing how that works. And while we're on the subject of illegal immigrants, there seems to be a confusion. Or maybe it's just willful ignorance. Maybe people just want to be purposely ignorant, or they don't understand words. They keep referring to illegal immigrants as immigrants. They're not the same. The vast majority of people that live in the United States are considered immigrants or came from immigrants. Why? Because obviously this land was conquered. Now that's a topic a topic for another day. But the truth of the matter is that pretty much every single person that's here, other than the Native Americans, are all basically migrants. However, there is a difference between illegal migrants and regular migrants. You see, there is a process to come into this country, just like there's a process to go into any country in the world. But you keep hearing in the news, and this is why a lot of these liberal news are going bankrupt, is because you play with words. You try to play with people's emotions. You try to make it seem as though Trump is just deporting immigrants. He's gonna go into the schools and take people's children and deport them. You paint this picture of this evil person just trying to separate their children from the families and all this other nonsense, when that's not what's actually happened. Now is it? What's actually happening now, is it? Who's getting deported? Every single person who came here without permission. Then you have lawmakers like fucking shit for brains AOC. Lord Jesus, that woman is borderline retarded. And I know that's not very politically correct to say, but that woman is just dumb. And the fact that she's Puerto Rican like me, it's a damn embarrassment. I don't want to claim her. I'm not claiming her. A different type of Latino group can go claim her dumb ass, but she sits there and she makes it seem like like we're deporting just regular old immigrants. And then she tries to say like crossing the border without permission isn't a crime. Oh, these people are not criminals. They are. If you come in here illegally without permission, then yeah, you're committing a crime. It's really, really that simple. And they make it seem like it's okay for them to just show up and everything is going to be fine and dandy. Well, no. Well, Trump told you he was going to deport everybody, but he was going to start with who? With the criminals, people that committed more crimes, not just the crime of crossing the border, because that is a crime. By itself, that's a crime. The moment you came in here without permission, you broke the law, therefore you're a criminal. That's how that works, right? If I steal something, I'm a criminal. It is what it is. Even though if I just stole a candy, I'm a thief. I stole stuff, I'm a criminal. Same thing. There's a law. You broke the law. So everybody's getting deported. Then they want to say things like, oh, but what if they've been working and they've been here for years? No one is talking about deporting people that have been here for 10, 15 years who hasn't committed any crimes per se, other than the fact that they committed a crime when they got here. But maybe some of those people are in the process of becoming legal. Right now, we're concentrated on criminals. That's what we're concentrating on. Sorry guys, just checking the feed here. So that's what we're focused on. Criminals. I'm in the camp of get them all out of here. All of them. Another thing when it comes to immigration, too, a lot of people just automatically assume that we're talking about Mexicans or people from South America. The fact of the matter is, and this isn't rocket science, people from all across the globe are illegally entering the United States. This is a fact. So now they're all getting deported. And the beautiful thing about it is that it's all being televised. And this is something that I saw recently. And I'll when I'm done talking my shit here, Well, we'll take a look at some videos or whatnot. But there are a lot of people now who are starting to self-deport. I mean, right now there's footage of vehicles lined up to try to go back to Mexico. And if you ask me, that's a wise decision. Why? Because when ICE shows up at your door and they take you, you're going back with whatever you have on, your clothing. I don't even know if they even let you bring your own toothbrush. You're going to get locked up. They're going to shackle you up. They're going to take you to a military base. They're going to load you up in a military plane and you go in bye-byes to whatever country you came from. But if you self-deport, you can load up a truck with all your belongings and take it with you. And that's the beautiful thing about televising this. Because a lot of people also, and a lot of these media pundits, which should tell you why they're failing, and people are listening to people like me or podcasters and social media folks, because you guys are full of shit. Because they told us that it was going to cost a lot of money to deport all these people. They said, oh, well, how are you going to deport 10, 15, 20 million people? How are you going to deport them back to their country? That's going to cost a lot of money. Okay, perhaps. I'm not saying that it was going to be cheap. I never said it was going to be cheap, but it costs more to keep them. Definitely costs a lot more to keep them here. There's a lot of services that their children have to go to school. It costs a lot of money to have them here. But what they wanted to ignore, I should say, or they didn't want to let you know, is that when they start seeing people getting deported by the thousands, a lot of them, they don't want the embarrassment. They don't want ICE to roll up at the workplace or just snatch them up without them being ready for it. They'd rather just leave on their own. And to be honest with you, that's the best way to do it. If you know you're going to get deported, then dip. Get on your truck, start heading down to the border. Get your shit ready and sell your belongings. Buy a plane ticket, take your ass back to Haiti, take your ass back to Iraq, the Middle East, wherever the hell you came from. We like to think that it's only South Americans, but it's not. It's all people from everywhere. China, all of them. If you came in here illegally, you crossed that border, either you came in through the southern border, you came through the Canadian border, you're not supposed to be here. You know you're not supposed to be here. Kick rocks. I have no sympathy. Now, Trump decided that he's going to put an executive order to stop birthright citizenship. Now, that was a very controversial. I'm not a scholar. I'm not a constitutional scholar, but maybe, just maybe, that might have been interpreted erroneously, or maybe not as accurate as you would like it to be interpreted. Now, I could be wrong, but it doesn't make much sense that if your mother is an illegal immigrant, your daddy's an illegal immigrant, all of a sudden you're a citizen just because they gave birth to you here. There was this thing, and I'm pretty sure it still happens. It's like I don't know the exact word for it, but apparently there were women in China and in other countries that the last couple of weeks of the pregnancy, or like the last month or so, they'll get some type of visa to come here. It could be a vacation visa, a visiting visa, and they'll come here so that they can purposely have their children here. So once they have their children here, now the children are citizens, and you can't deport you and leave the kid here, which is the term anchor babies came into play. Somebody just didn't invent the word anchor babies. There was a reason why the term exists, anchor babies. Why? Because the babies was anchoring the parent here. So they're pregnant, they'll come here, they give birth, and all of a sudden, boom, they stay here. And that shouldn't be the case. So I know that Trump basically did the executive order knowing that he was going to get sued, which a whole bunch of states already sued him for it, liberal states, of course, so that we can start having this discussion. Let's talk about it. Let the Supreme Court decide. Or at least let's have some type of limitations. Because you shouldn't be able to come here a month or 2 months before you give birth. All of a sudden you give birth and now you got citizenship. There should be something. It shouldn't be that easy, basically, is what I'm saying. I'm not a politician. I'm not a lawmaker, so I can't tell you exactly what I think would be the right course of action. But it is what it is. So let me see what my nephew's saying over here real quick. Yes, I was talking about the January 6th people earlier that were released from prison because they shouldn't have been there in the first place. And even if they were there, they shouldn't have been there for that long. Let me see. Yeah, the Refugees and Asylum app. That's right. Yep, we canceled the Refugee and Asylum app. Yes, sir. It's an offense to cross. Over 750 people have self-deport. And then you don't know how you feel about that. Well, you should feel great. You should feel great because, you see, all these people coming here has an unintended consequences. They got to live somewhere. And then you wonder, well, why the rent's so high? Well, it's supply and demand. The more people you have, the less apartments you have available, the higher the prices go. Because there's a lot of competition for that. So I'm going to give it to whoever can afford, whoever is willing to give me the most. If I got 50 people looking for an apartment and I have an apartment available, I can up the price. There's a lot of competition. Now, if there's a whole bunch of apartments available and not a lot of people looking for them, now you're competing for those people. You want to see, now you gotta reduce the rent so that they can come live with you rather than go live somewhere else. Or they can rent from you rather than go rent for somebody else. Because now you're going to have a surplus. You're going to have a lot of empty units and not enough people looking for places to live. So the rents inevitably go down, supply and demand. Right? The more something is in demand, the more expensive it is. The less is in demand, the cheaper the prices go. If you've been sitting on the product for over a year, you're gonna chop it down. Because why are you gonna keep something at an expensive rate when nobody's buying it? You want to get rid of it. 20% discount, 50% discounts. That's how you get discounts, right? End of year sales. Shit, things been sitting on the shelves for too long. You got to get rid of them. You got to make them cheaper. The more people you have, the more expensive it becomes. The more people you have, the more products you have to produce. It's just weak. The world, unfortunately, the vast majority of the world is not in good shape. Man, most people live in poverty. The poor people here in the United States live would be considered like living like kings compared to people from other countries. People that come from third world countries, from the Congos or and areas like that, where they live in huts and stuff like that. They come here and they go live in subsidized housing, and bro, they're living like kings. They don't gotta walk 10 miles to get dirty water. It's all right here. You get food stamps. You got public transportation. There's all kinds of goodies for poor people here. Which is why a lot of people in poverty don't even want to get out of poverty because they live comfortable. You don't have to be a millionaire to live good. I mean, the basic necessities of life is what? Water, food, and shelter. Water, food, and shelter. And clothing, of course. So if the government can provide that for you, what do you need to work for? Who cares if you live in a mansion versus living in a 1-bedroom apartment? You got somewhere to live. As long as you have food, you're good to go. Let's see. Let me check the chat here real quick, guys. Let's see. I do feel that the immigrants haven't committed any crime, offense. They should be able to have a chance to apply or for visa. Okay. Because it's going to affect the part of our economy. Because if you think about it, roughly 25% will be wrong, blah, blah. Okay. No. And builders and factory workers. Okay. So, to your point, sir, how do I say this? The talking points, right, is that we depend on illegal immigrants to do the job, the work that the American people won't do. It sounds good. But the thing is that because of them, the labor prices go down. You see, because they are willing to work picking oranges for far less money than your citizen is willing to do it. So it's to the benefits of certain companies to hire illegal immigrants because they can pay them pennies to the dollar. And in return, they'll save themselves a lot of money by doing so. And these are studies. This has all been documented. It's all been studied. I'm not an economist, but I've read some shit. And the truth of the matter is that certain corporations want that low-skill labor immigrants because they can pay them cheap versus hiring an American. And now you're going to have to pay a little bit more money, obviously. And you're going to have to pay taxes and a whole bunch of other, health insurance and all that kind of stuff. But if you hire somebody under the table, you don't got to worry about health insurance. You don't got to worry about, liability, that kind of stuff. So it's definitely a lot cheaper for a corporate company to hire illegals than it is to hire Americans. But that doesn't mean that an American is not going to be able to do the job. An American will pick oranges for a decent wage. And they're not going to pick oranges, for $7 an hour, especially with the cost of living. So there's a lot of unintended consequences that come from all this stuff. You got cheap labor, so then our unskilled workers can't get that type of job because we're giving it to the illegals. As far as builders, Amish build hell of a homes. We got plenty of skilled builders here. But it's cheaper to hire a crew of illegal Mexicans to do your roof than it is to hire an actual company with Americans. A lot of these talking points sound good. And the vast majority of humankind, I think, are genuinely good people for the most part. It's the people in power that are bad. So it's easy to convince the population, pulling on their heartstrings and manipulate them. Because we genuinely feel bad about these people. We don't want children to get separated from their family. I wish that we can help everybody. But at some point, we're not going to have enough resources for everyone. And it has to be America for Americans, right? Our own people are suffering right now. plenty of homeless Americans out there, homeless veterans. There are plenty of people who are poor, who are barely scraping by, can't get food stamps. But yet someone's going to come from another country and you just going to give them food stamps. So it's unfair, right? It's unfair for the American people when it comes to the immigration. But at the same time, it's going to go to the point where I was saying at first. Everything that's happening is your fault, liberal. It's your fault because you went too far. You went too far in your policies, and they upset people. And people gave you the middle finger and voted for Trump. You see, when it comes to the border, had Joe Biden done nothing, just left it how it was, if he would have just took office and did nothing, right? He literally didn't need to do anything when it comes to the border. Trump had already done the remain in Mexico. He already had things set. Border crossings were record lows. He didn't have to do anything. If Joe Biden would have came into the presidency and did absolutely nothing when it comes to the border, we would not be seeing what we're seeing today. If when Kamala Harris became the border czar, had she did something about it earlier on, none of this would be happening right now. ICE wouldn't be raiding a fish market looking for people. All this whole mass deportation would not be happening right now had the previous administration done their job. But you didn't. You see, liberals, they pull at people's heartstrings. And you make decisions that hurt people. And you see that in California. You said that it was unconstitutional to take homeless people's stuff and get them off the street. So what do we have now? Motherfuckers got houses made out of tents all up on the sidewalks, underneath the bridge. Luxury living for the homeless out there. It's a damn disaster. It's a mess. Skid Row is horrendous. All the homelessness over there in California is ridiculous. And now, with the whole fires, forget it. It's a mess. Democrats, you did this to yourself. You can't be out here sitting, crying and boo-hoo whining all day long. Everything Trump does, everything. Y'all got to sit there and cry about it. Well, you fucked up. It's your fault. It's your fault. You had a chance. You had 4 years to get shit right. You had 4 years to show us that you can do something. Joe Biden had 4 years, implement all his policies and make everybody prosperous. But guess what? None of that happened. Why? Because you're full of shit and he didn't do anything. Lazy. Took vacations every other week. The guy barely worked. No one knew who was in charge. But then you gaslight us. The media gaslights us. Oh, Joe Biden is sharp. Oh, he's sharp. You can't even tell me any accomplishments. And the things that you say are accomplishments were not accomplishments. What did they say to us? Inflation was transitory. Come on. You have yourselves to blame. What you need to do now What you need to do now is just sit back, relax, and watch the show. You can't be boohoo crying about everything that Trump does. It's your fault. You guys pulled the shenanigans in 2020. And he's back, and he's back with a vengeance. You see, the one thing that a lot of people don't take into consideration, that the first 4 years of a president, they kind of they walk a fine line, right? It's like a type. They're very careful on the things that they do because they're worried about then getting reelected. So they don't want to ruffle too many feathers, so to speak, right? They don't want to shake the boat a little too much. You want to be somewhere in the middle. You try to appease to as many people as you can because you want to get reelected. So usually the first 4 years it's kind of just whatever. Then the last 4 years they go all in for the most part. But see, in this case, had Trump won, had you let him win, right? Because he definitely won based on the votes. He would have won, because what happened to those 20-something million people that voted for Biden? Where did they go? They all stayed home. So, we all know. I'm just gonna say this clear. They fucking cheated, okay? I'm just gonna say it. I'm not gonna beat around the bush anymore. You motherfuckers stole the fucking elections, okay? There's plenty of proof. When Pam Bondi was being interviewed, right, during her confirmation hearings, what did she say? Well, let's talk about what I saw in Pennsylvania. And you guys are like, no, let's not talk about that. Well, you fucking cheated. You cheated, but guess what? Thank you. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Cheating on the 2020 election, installing Joe Biden was the greatest gift you could have given us. That was the greatest gift. Why? Because we had snakes in Trump's cabinet. We had snakes. We had a lot of snakes that just slithered their way in to prominent position within the Trump administration the first time around. People like John Bolton, fucking Fauci. What's her name? That stupid chick that ran for president, Nikki Haley, right? Mike Pence, Bill Burr. Is it Bill Burr? Not the comedian. The Attorney General. Is it Bill Burr? I don't know. Bill Burr. I don't know. Bill something. Whatever. That fucking guy. The FBI director. Whatever the hell his name is. I can't think of it right now. But there was a whole bunch of snakes that snuck their way into the administration. So, what am I saying? All the snakes that managed to make their way into the administration are gone. You gave Trump 4 years. 4 years to know his enemy. 4 years to know who's pro-MAGA, who's pro-America first. You gave him 4 years to scope out the situation. Who's who? Who has my back? Who doesn't? Who's going to stab me in the back? Right? 4 years you gave him. Greatest gift you could have ever given us. And in those 4 years, he plotted. He learned. He saw. And you know, and the best thing you could have done during these last 4 years was shut the fuck up about him. You should have never given him any air. But no. Your news outlets ain't shit if you're not talking about Trump. Trump is what keeps you going. The Trump deranged people want their dose of Trump derangement, so they tune in. Right? Big mistake. The best thing you could have done was just stop talking about him. But you didn't. Couldn't help yourselves. You just had to bash the man over and over and over and over and over and over and over. It's been since 2016. Since 2016, bro, you guys have just been on this fucking guy nonstop. It doesn't fucking end, bro. From 2016, and maybe from even a little bit before that, since the moment he came down those escalators and said he was going to run for president, y'all just been demonizing the man, just talking shit nonstop. And even if some of the things you were saying were true, you lie so much that you just can't believe anything that comes out your fucking mouth. Yeah, he's human, right? So he's not perfect. He's going to make mistakes. Not every policy is going to be a policy that we all want. But you guys, just everything he fucking does, you got something to say about it. So even if he does do a bad policy, we're all going to probably go along with it because every policy is bad according to you. You give him no credit where credit is due at all. Non-stop, 24/7 Trump fucking bashing. At some point, that shit gets old, man. Since 2016, that's all you fucking do. Just talk shit. Talk shit. You know, it's been how many fucking years that is? 8 years? And then because we've had 8 years to see what the fuck you're talking about, and we find out all that shit is bullshit. It's all lies. Here comes 2024, and you're still telling those same bullshit lies about the man. And at this point, we've done tuned out. We've done tuned out. Because even if he does something bad, you guys are gonna say it's bad anyways. So we're just gonna go along with it at this point. Whatever you say, we're gonna think the opposite. Because you don't give credit where credit is due. And it's like that with everybody, you know. I watch people like the amazing Lucas, right? Or just a couple of other liberals that I look at. They do not give where credit is due. They flip everything. They flip everything in such a way that you go like, what the how the fuck how you manage to twist that? The man can cure cancer, and the liberals would say, oh well, you know, he killed. You know, they killed 10 monkeys in order to come up with the cure. So they're evil. That's an evil act. He's an evil person. How could you possibly sacrifice 10 monkeys in order to cure cancer? What an evil man. Like it's crazy, you know? Yes, William Barr. Thank you, sir. That's what I was talking about. William Barr. Snakes. And yeah, so you know, when you demonize somebody so much, it's kind of like the kid that cried wolf, right? You know, it's kind of like the kids that say who cry wolf, right? This is a story that every little kid hears. When you cry wolf, you cry wolf, you cry wolf. At some point, you're gonna say, "Hey, there's a wolf coming, wolf coming." The motherfucking wolf is right there, and you're just gonna go, "Fuck you, I don't believe you." Whatever. And the wolf eats everybody up. And thanks God for tuning in. Yeah. And at some point, the wolves are gonna be like, I mean, the people are gonna be like, well, fuck it. You know, you lie so damn much, I don't believe shit you say. And this is where we are with Donald Trump. You lie so much that we all just tune the fuck out. Even if you're telling the truth, we don't tune out. Because you lie too much. And now the things that are happening is your fault. All the executive orders that he's signing is your fault. Now, switching gears, DEI, right? DEI. DEI is your modern day affirmative action. Affirmative action was there for a reason, right? Because back in the days, there was discrimination, and they kind of put that there to, you know, to fight back against that. But times have changed. For the most part, most people are not racist. Although the media would like to let you believe that everybody's racist. Every white person hates every black person. That's what they want. That's what they want you to believe. But that's not the reality that we live in. If you go outside, most people don't care about your skin color. So affirmative action was kind of there for that. Well, the Supreme Court ruled in universities and whatnot that you can't do because they went too far. It's not fair that an Asian whose parents, you know, push their kids to excel in education, to be excellent in education, to be good at math, right? So that way they can become doctors, engineers, and have a better life for themselves. They make sure that education is very important for them. All of a sudden, they can't get into Harvard because you got to let Monique in, who barely passed the SATs because you don't have enough black women in there. You know what I'm saying? So Shang-Ching over here can't fucking possibly go to Harvard because Chinese are considered basically like white folks. And then you got this new version of that, which is called the DEI, where you went too far. You went too far. Everything is racist, right? Everything is racist. And now Trump comes in. He doesn't have to worry about getting elected. And he shut that shit down. And now you're crying. Now you have to show that you're good at what you do in order to get hired. Why? That's your fault. Because all you do is cry about it. All you do is talk about it. White people this, white people that. Oh my God, the white man. No, he's a slave. I was a slave. Oh, he has slaves. Oh, shut the fuck up, man. Without white people, you wouldn't have fucking electricity. Yeah, and that's another thing, man. You know, you white folks, man, y'all gotta start stepping up. I mean, I know that they keep accusing you of all, you know, being racist and stuff like that, and maybe a lot of you are. But God damn it, man, have some pride. Let motherfuckers know, bro. Without you guys, there ain't no electricity. Motherfuckers, we still be riding horses right now. If it wasn't for Ford. They invent the planes. White people invented the planes. White people have done a whole bunch of great shit for society. Phones, exploration. You know, Columbus wasn't a black guy. Christopher Columbus was an Englishman, wasn't he? You know, it wasn't Akembe Mutumba who decided, hey, you know what? I think the earth is actually round. So let me go ahead into the fucking ocean. And let me go see. Let me go into the ocean. Let me see if I can find something, even though everybody told me that if you reach a certain level of the ocean, you're going to fall down and die. No, it was the white man that explored. But you sit here and we demonize white people just nonstop. And it's like, come on, bro, it's too much. And then black people can be racist towards white people, but if a white person says something bad about a black person, oh my God, it's the end of the world. And then you wonder why Trump won. Then you wonder why everybody's tired of the DEI. And at some point, we got to learn, man. We just got to learn. The hell? I know what it is. It was embarrassing. Going too soon, you're about to have an audience. Yeah, well, you know what? I wish I had an audience, but that's okay. Anybody that did hop in and hopped out, thank you. Anywho, so where was I? Sometimes trying to be live and read the comments can kind of fuck with my train of thought. So like I was saying, your fault. Your fault. So you keep melting down, liberal meltdown, right? That's the title. President Donald Trump's first week in office was a total success. I think it was a success. Over 200 plus executive orders. And then the thing is, he didn't just do executive orders. He put them to work. He let's get it done. Let's get it done. There was somebody I was watching complaining that they just keep getting memos. About things that they have to do. They say they can't even do their job because there's so many memos coming in. Well, tough luck. Tough fucking luck. That's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to stay busy. Busy. Taking care of the American people's business. I want to test something out here real quick, guys. Hold on. All right. So let's see what's going on in the world other than me ranting. So Donald Trump went to California yesterday and he was having a meeting with homeowners and they were basically complaining that the government of California isn't letting them clean up their homes so they can start rebuilding. And they're saying that they're telling them 6 months. Or they even at some point even said like 18 weeks about some shit. And the mayor of of California there, or of LA, she just kept talking. She just kept like arguing with Trump a little bit, right? Yeah, we're doing that. And at some point, somebody was like, yo, bitch, you need to shut the fuck up. And it took her mic off. And it took her mic away. So I want to, in case you guys haven't seen it, let me show you this real quick. This shit is hilarious. So for my people over here, so check this out. This is hilarious.
They want to go to work and they're not allowed to do it. And the most important thing is a long time to be safe.
Look. You know what's interesting? I watched most of that, and I didn't see the person take the mic away from her because she was kind of like going back and forth with Trump a little bit because Trump is saying, hey, now these people are telling me that you're not letting them in there for like another 6 months or whatever. And he's like, they need to clear this shit now. They want to go in and clear up their property right now and start building right now, today, tonight. And then she's like, oh, that's it's probably going to take a week. And he's like, a week? Bitch, right now. See, this is why Donald Trump won, because your liberal cities, they're not properly being run. They're just not. And it's a shame. It's a damn shame, because people suffer because of it. People suffer because of it. Because you guys suck. Interesting question. Should President Trump pardon Edward Snowden? Snowden, sorry. Snoring. Snoring. Yeah, okay. Oh, man. Interesting time, guys. So how about this? How about this? How about this? Breaking. Trump administration has allegedly located between 75,000 to 80,000 of the average, of over 300,000 missing migrant children, according to Harris Faulkner of Fox. You guys seeing this shit here? Let me just make it a little brighter for you. Trump administration has allegedly located between 75,000 and 80,000 of over 300,000 missing migrant children, according to Harris Faulkner in Fox News. Is she real news or is she fake news? Who knows? But that should tell you something, right? They said they were missing. They were missing, but apparently not. Apparently, the Trump administration can find these kids, but Joe Biden lost them somehow. It's incredible. It's incredible what it looks like when you have proper leadership. People who actually want to do the job for the American people, get shit done. This is amazing news. The fact that they even lost 300,000 people, 300,000 children, it's incredible. It's incredible. But but the news will not talk about that. They just going Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. That's all they care about. Trump bad. That's it. That's all that matters to them. Fucking incredible. Incredible. Very excited about that. In other news, Pete Hexas was nominated and has been approved. There was a tiebreaker, 50-50. It's a good thing. Obviously, Mitch McConnell, that old dinosaur, voted against him. And I hope that every single person that voted against him gets primaried. Donald Trump, Las Vegas, speaking on his no tax tip policy. Now, how could you not love this man? He's been nonstop since Monday. Nonstop. He's been all over the place. Joe Biden wouldn't talk to anyone at all. I don't even remember. I don't even think he even had an actual real press conference where he didn't say, who do I got to call on? You're on my list right here. No, I'm not going to ask you a question because I'm going to get in trouble. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. But it's nice that we finally have a real president. Trump effect. Governor reversed course, now back him after major development. Of course they're going to back him. Because a lot of these folks are going to go to jail. Especially with the whole immigration thing. Some of these folks are going to go to jail. They need to stop fucking around because they're about to find out. You can't stop a federal agency from doing their job. You're going to end up in jail. But you know what they say: a hard head makes a soft ass. They don't listen. They don't listen. So let me take a look here, see what we got going on here in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. The crackdown that's going on is a beautiful thing. Actually, you know what? I wanted to check something here real quick. Okay. So these are some of the, I don't know. Yeah, let's do this. Let's take a look at some of the executive orders so far. Trump executive orders reversing Biden's policy and attacking of the deep state. So here are some of the executive orders, and then I'll let you know whether or not I actually agree with them. All right. So freeze federal hiring, except for members of the military or positions related to immigration enforcement, national security, or public safety. Who's going to argue with that? Can't deport all these people if you do a hiring freeze, but for all the other bureaucrats, all the other DEI stuff, goodbye. What's the next one? Restore a category of federal workers known as Schedule F, which will lack the same job protection. Okay, okay. Halt new federal rules from going into effect before Trump administration appointees can review them. Perfect. Perfect. So if you have all this whole bunch of rules and regulations that Biden we're gonna put into place, all that shit gets put on hold until Trump's people go in, make sure that everything is up to par. Otherwise, they get scratched. Because with the Trump administration, if it doesn't benefit the American people, we're not doing it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And anyone that has a problem with that, you know, should really see where their loyalty lies. Because there's absolutely nothing wrong with being America first. I'm trying to get to see my chat, unfortunately, here. Whatever. All right. Grant top secret security clearance to White House staff without going through traditional vetting processes. I don't know how I feel about that one, but okay, you know, we have to get the administration in there in and out, but you still should probably vet people before you start giving them secret security clearance or whatever. But it is what it is. All right, this is a good one. Bar asylum. Move to win birthright citizenship. Now that one's going to be contentious. I think they should end it, but I believe that's going to take a constitutional amendment in order for that to pass. But I'm with it, though. I'm with it. I'm a citizen of the United States, man. I'm too old to get deported anywhere. And you're not going to deport me back to Puerto Rico. And even if you decided that Puerto Rico was no longer going to be a territory of the United States, you can't fucking take me there. I've been here for too long. I'm what you call grandfathered in. So if they pass a law tomorrow that says Puerto Rico is no longer going to be part of the United States, everybody there is no longer anybody born from here on out is not going to be a United States citizen. I'm okay with that because I live in the United States. Suspend the refugee administration program. All right, so we talked about all this stuff. Basically, all that stuff is just stop immigration tariffs. Okay, that's something that I 100% agree with, and that's something that the media likes to You know what? Let's talk about that one here for a second. Tariffs. So, how do I feel about tariffs? The media is going to tell you that if they put tariffs on countries, that the products that we get from them are going to be more expensive. What they don't tell you is that they charge us tariffs whenever we try to sell our stuff in their country. So it's not an even exchange. So it's not right. And it is true what Trump says. A lot of these countries are taking advantage of us. And it's time that shit ends. So I'm good with tariffs. And also tariffs can be used as a negotiating tool. If you don't do this for me, you're going to have to pay me for that. This is all part of the art of the deal here. And I think Trump is smart for including tariffs and talking about tariffs and basically making people afraid, because fear can be a good thing. All right, so he withdrew us from the Paris Agreement. I don't know much about the Paris Agreement, but all I know is some carbon monoxide bullshit we have to pay for the world, basically, to clean up their environment and the air and all that other stuff. And I'm just for global warming, well, it used to be the ice age, then global warming. Now it's climate change. You know, I've lived long enough to see the difference. So that's a good thing. Declare a national energy emergency. So obviously we get our own energy. But you know, when it comes to the energy stuff, right? When it comes to like the oil and stuff like that, I'm like in a weird place, right? Because I like the idea that we have oil and we can sell it, right? We can make money off of it. Sounds good. But at the same time, I'm like in a weird place, right? Because I'm like, I feel like the oil is there for a reason. Kind of like you put oil on an engine, right? If you don't put oil in your car, the engine is gonna eventually explode, get too hot and explode, right? So I'm a little iffy when it comes to the whole oil thing. Like I feel like we should really, really, really try to find a different source of energy other than nuclear. Because even though nuclear power is better, you know, it's nuclear. It can kill us all. Nuclear meltdowns, you know, you see what over there in Russia and whatnot. So we should find a safe energy alternative that doesn't require taking the oil, because I just, for some weird reason, I feel like the oil is there for a reason. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't feel like it's dinosaur. That's all dinosaur fossils. You know, that come. That just, it doesn't make sense. I don't know. I just feel like this is beyond my expertise and knowledge. But I just feel like the fucking oil is there for a reason. You know what I mean? It's taking it out and draining it. You're gonna have huge fucking holes and, you know, cave-ins and God knows what. And then who knows the harm that is really doing to the earth. Fucking up the axis, though. Maybe it starts wobbling differently. I don't know. I'm not a scientist guy, but I just feel like maybe, just maybe, I could be wrong, but just maybe the oil is there for a reason. I don't know. Just a thought. Just a thought. Begin the repeal of Biden era regulations on tailpipe pollutions from cars, light trucks. Again, like, I get like I totally understand the environmentalist people, how they want to protect Earth and stuff like that, but there are other countries in the world. So if they're if they're polluting, then I mean, how much can you do, right? If China has all these fucking factories that are just nonstop pollution, all the air comes out this way anyways, right? So what difference does it fucking make if you think about it? But then again, I don't know, man. I'm gonna be dead, by the way, before any of these environmental problems is gonna happen. So at the end of the day, I can really care less. The world's not gonna end because of environmentalism in the next, 40 years. So I will probably be dead, and so will all of us. Actually, probably. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm very confident that every single person watching this stream right now will probably be dead long before any of the environmental stuff that we're having that's going on right now. It's going to impact us in a negative way. Maybe not your children, but definitely I'm trying to get back to I'm sorry there, whoever's watching me. I'm trying to get back to the comments here, but I can't seem to get there. Oh, live chat. There you go. Who's in my live chat? Top messages. Nobody there? Live chat? Anybody there? Live chat? Whatever. Anyways, so roll back energy stuff. Yeah. Open the Alaska wilderness to more oil and gas drilling. Okay. Again, like I said, I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's a good thing economically for us, but for the environment, I don't know. Man. It's one of those things, right? We can't agree with everything. Right? We can't agree with everything, right? Just because I like most of the policies that he does, can't say I agree with some of this environmentalist stuff, because I honestly feel like, that oil is there for a reason. Halt the leasing of federal waters for offshore wind farms that I like, right? So he doesn't like wind farms because they're ugly, ineffective, and they pollute and they kill the whale. Well, they kill the whales, they kill the birds, it does a lot more harm than it does good. I think we can do without that. And Elon said that if you have like a 1 mile, a square 1 mile, like a square mile, whatever, of just solar panel, that can pretty much give a lot of electricity. So maybe we should probably consider doing something like that. Limited environmental justice programs. Again, I think some of those programs go a little too far, stopping innovation. But at the same time, we still got to have some type of environmental protection. You know what I mean? Jellybean? Review all federal regulations. Of course, that's good, because there's a lot of regulations that are just annoying. Get rid of all them shits. TikTok ban. Yes, we saw that. Now, the Supreme Court justice ruled on it, so they have to do something about it. Otherwise, I think it's a 90-day. I think it's like a 90-day, 75. Let me see, 75. Yeah, 75. Yeah, they give them 75 days to work something out. So it's possible that TikTok might still get banned. So, those of you that watch TikTok and you're excited, it's not too late. It's possible. It's possible that they can still get banned. So don't get too excited about that. Oh, sorry, I want to check something. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Where the hell was I? My bad. TikTok ban. Withdraw from the World Organization. Okay, so withdraw from the WHO World Organization. That's a good thing. I think we should withdraw from anything that requires us to pay money. Period. Rename Mount Denali and the Gulf of Mexico. I'm cool with that too. No big deal on that. Ensure that states carrying out the death penalty have a sufficient supply of lethal injections and drugs. Hey, listen, I don't know about that one. I ain't go front. I I don't know how I feel about that one. Fuck out of here. I don't know how I feel about that one. Where was I? Jesus Christ. Ensure that states carrying out the death penalty have sufficient supply of lethal injections. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about the death penalty at all. Cause I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't think people should have the ability to kill other people just because. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know how I feel about that one. So it depends, right? You can give me a good argument as to why a particular individual should get the death penalty, and I might agree with you. I might be like, hell yeah, kill him. But then there might be some other instances where I'm like, I don't know. Maybe just better off. I don't think that's the right thing to do, but I thought that's kind of funny. All right, fly the American flag at full staff on Monday on future inauguration days. Okay, they did that because Joe Biden wanted to fly it at half mast because of the dead president. But you know, that's not that big of a deal either way. Implement the Department of Government Efficiency, the Elon Musk-led cost-cutting initiative, Doge. Vivek got kicked out of that, I think. They're keeping it in silence, but I'm pretty sure he got fired. He's kind of been MIA. Vivek's been a little MIA when it comes to this kind of stuff. Now he wants to be governor. But if you pissed off Trump, buddy, I don't know, man. You should probably just stick to doing the pharmaceutical stuff. Revoke security clearance for 51 signers. Hell yeah. The 51 spies that lie. Everybody that said, oh, the Hunter Biden laptop is a clear sign of Russia disinformation, is the hallmark of Russian intelligence. The Hunter Biden laptop is not real. It's all disinformation. Well, I'm glad they revoke everybody's fucking clearance. Especially Brandon and all of them. Yep. They should all get revoked. Every single one of them. What else? Okay, so that's a little bit. That's it for now on that one. Let me see what else we can talk about because I got time. I don't have anything else better to do today. I got plenty of time, so let's go over some of the stuff, huh? Let me see. Thumbs up. Oh, okay. Let me check something out here, guys. We got some. All right, so let's take a look at this.
Okay, I'm making this video.
I haven't watched it, so we're gonna do a little bit of reacting now.
For everybody that has parents or family members that are immigrants, illegal immigrants that might be, hopefully not, but could be facing this ICE raids, we should try to make it as much as uncomfortable for the ICE agents as possible. Let me tell you how to make it very uncomfortable. If you know any ICE agent, any person that works for ICE, or you see a group of them going to lunch, dinner, breakfast to a restaurant you're working at, and you happen to be Hispanic, and you happen to be in the kitchen, spit on their food,
Yeah, so I don't know if that music is copyrighted, so I don't want to keep playing it. But let me finish hearing.
It has like 30 to 50 nails. Those are pretty good. You know what to do with those. Coke and sugar, you know what to do with that. And they're already taking your uncle, your dad, your mom, your brother, whatever.
When he says coke and sugar, in case you guys don't know, what he means is coke and sugar in your gas tanks. So if you know an ICE agent, put some sugar, some coke and sugar inside of their gas tanks to mess up their cars. All right, Gway.
Have them take a shit in the truck on the car. Like when they're getting arrested and they're being put in their ICE truck, tell them to take the worst shit they could take. Piss themselves, whatever. They might be a little bit uncomfortable for a while, but they're gonna make the ICE agents uncomfortable too. If they're getting arrested, tell them to say that they have really bad COVID, even if they're not. One more thing: if you're in LA and you happen to be a cop, you better do not cooperate with ICE, because we're gonna find you and we're gonna egg your fucking car. Those are the tips I have. Some of might be illegal, you might end up in jail, but it's better than having them give them an easy way to take our people.
Interesting how that works, guys. You see that? You see that? You see that? Degenerates. Then you wonder why the American people has had enough. That's how you react. You know, your people committed a crime to come here, and this is the shit that. And you know what? Hey, listen. Freedom of speech is a beautiful thing. Because I see this kind of thing, and man, I go, man, they should have banned TikTok, man. But you know what? He's allowed to talk that shit. I don't like it. I don't like it. But guess what? He's allowed to say it. He's not allowed, however, to have people do illegal things. That is not freedom of speech. That is against the law. You can't incite violence, and that kind of stuff could be considered violence. So, especially like egging, throwing an egg at somebody. I mean, it's kind of harmless because eggs don't really hurt, but still, you hit somebody in the eye with an egg, it's gonna leave a mark. Either way, it's still assault. Even though it said egg the cars, but whatever. Either way, he's telling people to damage property and basically do things that are illegal. So maybe, just maybe, somebody should probably pay him a visit. Considering he's on TikTok, they got his IP address. I'm pretty sure they can get their phone. With the phone, they can know their location. So Mr. Whoever the chunks over here, you might be a citizen of the United States, but so if you are, then maybe you should probably probably go to jail for a couple of days or weeks. And we might just take your phone and check all your contacts, and I'm pretty sure you got a whole bunch of illegal friends in there, so that would help us take your peoples. So you guys got to be careful what you post online, bro, because right with that alone, if they'll get his information, they'll get his phone, and then from his phone, you can trace a whole bunch of other people, and we can find out that there's a whole bunch of illegals, and bam, you telling people how to avoid getting deported is gonna actually make them get deported even faster. Did you think about that, dumbass? Just a thought. Hold on. Doing a live show is not easy, right? What do we have here? Congresswoman to introduce legislation to add Trump to the Mount Rushmore. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that? You want Trump? Mount Rushmore? What do you think? I think it'll be a good thing. I don't know if it'll get approved though. And if it does get approved, I don't think they'll be able to build it by the time he gets out of office. And then if, I don't know, because if he does a really good job, Republicans are going to win again. The question is it going to be a good Republican or is it going to be Vance? If it's Vance, hopefully it's a good thing. I believe he's MAGA. But if it's not him, we might have some more snakes and we're going to revert right back to where we were. Actually.
Okay, I'm making this video for...
Shut up. Let's take a look, see what else do we have. Let's do oh, yeah, this is funny. This is funny.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
He says not going back to Haiti. And cheering on Biden.
Oh. Damn it, you and your great music. I gotta stop you. He's going back. I ain't going back to Hades. I ain't going back. Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. You're all going back. I want to hear this before I play it. Yeah.
The very bad things, and bad things were happening. And now there's light not only over America. I've heard it from even our enemies. They call up and they say, sir, we hate you. We do hate you, but there's light over the world right now. They hate me. Some of them hate me. If they like
How do
me,
you
got
not
a
like that,
problem,
bro?
right?
How do you not like
They
that?
like Sleepy Joe. What's not to like? You know, they'd call up. It's funny. I was told today by one of the big leaders of the world, would call for a telephone call with the President of the United States a year ago. And they'd say, we'd like to speak with, who is this? It's the head of Germany, the head of, it's, name it, the head of France, the name of any country, it didn't matter. He would never pick up the call. They'd say, he'll call you back in 2 months. 2 months. Yeah, it's his schedule. He's extremely busy sleeping. No.
You gotta love, bro.
Call you back in 2
That
months.
man is a stand-up
So 2
comedian.
months comes along and there's no call. They say he didn't call. The stories are. I mean, these stories are not very exaggerated. I want to tell you, they're a little bit for laughter, but you know, it's only for laughter. The fake news will say, "Oh, he exaggerated. It was only 1 month," you know. But he'll say he'd call you back, and then he'd never call, and then they could never get him on the phone. And the problem I have is that when I speak to and I speak to them immediately, they'll say, could we speak to the president? Would that be possible? We could do it anytime over the next month. They're so used to this, right? I say, no, I'll pick it up right now. Is he on the phone? Yeah, hello, how you doing? That's what, you know, get it over with, right? Get it over with. The only problem, they were so starved for love from the United States, I cannot get them off the phone. I can't get people, if you can't, I say, I have to go now, King, or I have to go now, President. But you can't get them off the phone. They're starved for love. You know, for years they haven't spoken.
He's funny. So why did I play that video? Well, I played that video because I thought he was going to say something more funnier than that. But, you know, the truth of the matter is that Mr. Trump is a funny guy. He's rather hilarious, really, if you think about it. Oh, man. This ain't no joke, guys.
This part of the border is secure.
He is not messing around, man. He building the wall, securing the border, got the military working. What a stark contrast, right?
Put it to where you know the two strands are gonna touch. Not right through the center. Yeah, you might have to put it lower. Good. Yeah. I'll just go a little bit further, all right?
That's crazy. It's crazy. That's crazy. You see that, guys? That's what a president is supposed to do. The president is supposed to secure our borders and do what he says he's supposed to say. My question is, though, okay. Been a little while here, guys. I think I'm probably gonna call it quits. It's been fun. Let me see. New viewership record on Twitch and YouTube thanks to Donald Trump inauguration. Okay, Benny. Man, that's crazy. They're definitely building the wall. Like, they're not fucking around, man. Construction is happening as we speak. He's definitely gonna finish building that wall. That's for damn sure. You see, last time they gave him a lot of shit about it, right? And they put a lot of hurdles in front of him to stop him, but Trump got zero fucks to give right now, so he's just gonna do what he does. Yeah, buddy. Well, other than immigration, really, it's not much going on in the world. Other than maybe a lot of liberals going crazy, losing their minds. They're all gonna need a therapist because we just getting started. There's 4 more years to go. 4 more years to go, guys. Get used to it. But if Trump does what he says he's going to do and everything works out the way it's supposed to work out, that means that every single citizen is going to be in a better place today, 4 years from now. In theory. I can't say that for the illegals. But for citizens, in theory, if Trump does what he says he's going to do, in theory, we should be better 4 years from now. However, as I've said this before in my life, if that's not the case and he starts doing some shit that I don't agree with, I will definitely talk shit about it as well. But so far so good. I can't say that this last week hasn't been great, because it has. And I just hope that all his nominees get nominated. And I hope that the next 4 years are going to be exciting. Hopefully he chills out and doing a lot of exciting stuff, because I kind of want to talk about something else next stream. I don't want to do politics next week. But if he does all the great things that he's doing, I might have to talk some more politics. But I'm hoping that I don't. So with that said, guys, I'm going to end the stream. It's been a pleasure. Please, if you can, you know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, because I do random pops. And also, if you like video games, you can catch me at the Angry Rican Show over at Twitch. It's the same name. Everything is the same. All my socials are the same. The Angry Rican Show and everything. Facebook. The only thing I don't have is TikTok just yet. But all my socials are the same. The Angry Rican Show. So if you want to find me, just put in the Angry Rican Show and you'll find me in all my socials. Although I haven't really posted much on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. But if you want to see me play video games, go over to Twitch and you can see me play video games there. Right now I'm sucking ass at them. But that's okay. That's okay. We'll get some good gameplay in.